Made a room full of young mums mad. Enjoyed every second of it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for lifer. I'm going to preface this story by saying I used to be a bit of a ding dong. I really enjoyed winding people up and causing a bit of controversy. I would never do or say anything nasty or harmful, but I just took pleasure in pushing people's buttons. When this story took place, I was 26, 11 later. A few years ago, I was doing what is known as an access course. It's a 1-year crash course for adults that are wanting to go to university but don't have the qualifications for one reason or another. One notable thing about this is that there are a lot of young moms on this course, many of which dropped out of school because they were pregnant. I was studying chemistry and biology. The story happens in a biology class. We were learning about intimacy health and contraceptive methods, and we were asked to pick a topic from a list and produce a presentation on it that we would give to the class. At the same time, I was strongly considering a vasectomy, so I enthusiastically asked if I could take that. The next hour or so was uneventful. I did some research on the subject, made some presentations, and then gave it to the class. At the end of my presentation, I asked if there were any questions, to which the teacher asked, "Is there a reason you were so desperate to present this subject?" Side note, my teacher was also 26, and I think she had a bit of a thing for me. She seemed to really enjoy when I would wind people up, and I have a sneaky suspicion she was setting me up to do just that. Yes, there is actually. I've been thinking about getting one recently because the idea of having kids scares the crap out of me. Cue an uproar from the 15-something mums in this audience. A lot of them were talking at once, and some of them seemed pretty upset. I was asked why I don't want kids, and I gave my reasons. Money, time, I'm too selfish, I don't like them, I want to travel as much as possible, etc., etc. The main thing I kept hearing from my audience was that I was too young to make such a permanent decision, and that I would regret it in a few years when I changed my mind. "Let me ask you something," I said. "Raise your hands if you have children." 15 hands go in the air. Now keep hands up if you were older than me when you had them. A smile spread across my face as all but one hand was put down. I looked at my teacher and she had a smile on her face too. I think she knew what I was about to say. "How is it that you were all old enough to decide that you wanted to have children and I am too young to decide that I don't?" Silence. No one had an answer. Some of them looked ticked. "Seems hypocritical to me that you say I'm too young to make such a permanent decision while you have all done exactly that by having children. Maybe you should keep your opinions about my life choices to yourself." And with that, I went and sat down knowing my work was done. All the young mummies were annoyed and hopefully learned to keep their opinions to themselves. But probably not. LOL. Not all heroes wear capes. They get a vasectomy and shut down the breeders. I didn't get a vasectomy in the end. I was too scared I would be in the 1% that ends up with chronic pain. Thankfully, my now girlfriend of 3 years is also very against having kids, so we were careful enough that I don't need one. Where does that number come from? My doctor has been doing vasectomies only for 20 years. 3 to 15 per day, 5 days a week, and about 1% of his patients have any pain a year after the procedure. 1 in 20 of those still experience something about 3 after and none after 7. I am one of those. My cherries have always been slightly painful to play with. After the procedure, I went from uncomfortable to painful. After 3 years, it was still painful. I started getting or doing myself massages just below painful level, twice a week. It reduced back to pre-procedure level and then some after a few weeks. They're no longer painful at all, just uncomfortable, less than before. So maybe my experience was partly caused by me being too careful after the procedure. That also meant my doctor is still waiting for his first chronic pain patient after thousands of procedures. My 2 cents, shop around for a good doctor who has a lot of experience doing it. If true, that 1% probably comes from those inexperienced with crappy numbers that increases the average. Don't let global statistics prevent you from doing something you want. Find someone competent who doesn't share those stats. Was this perhaps an access to nursing course? The access course was my route into nursing and it was full of mums. I understand that crap happens when you have kids, but the vast majority of mums on that course took the piss, constantly expecting extensions and coursework, kicking up crap if their grade wasn't good enough, etc. No, it was a science access course. There were, however, several women who were going into nursing though. Yeah, there was a lot of that with my class too. Most of them didn't do anything like that, but there were a handful who just took the piss. In the USA, there seems to be a conditional mindset, my words, that we, 1, must procreate, 2, must go to college. I read somewhere in the subreddit that it did not ever occur to a Childfree's friend that she did not have to have children. Not that she was forced to have them, but it did not occur to her she could just go child-free. Does that make sense? That's a lot of people's mindset. It's number 3 in the life script. 1, college. 2, marriage. 3, children. To deviate is a failure to them. So what? You feel like you owed them or something? It's not a particularly valid argument. I'm sure many people who become parents at a young age don't feel like they were old enough to make that decision at all. But for whatever reason they chose, or weren't able to obtain an abortion, so now they're making the best life that they can from that youthful mistake. I find it bizarre that when people act like teenage pregnancies were some well-thought-out decision, that obviously is not the case. Of course, we all want people to be responsible, but that's not the point here. It's not hypocritical to say something is bad simply because one has done it themselves. On the contrary, that actually gives them a better perspective from which to condemn the behavior. It's wrong to restrict a person's bodily autonomy for all kinds of reasons, but that is just not one of them. Something similar happened when I said the same thing to my mom. She was 18 when she had me and 25 when she had my sisters. I asked her why she was old enough to decide to have me, but I, then 28, was too young to decide to not want kids. She stared at me and I thought she didn't hear me, so I repeated myself. I had caught her so off guard, she couldn't even think of a response. Not even, good point. But it has made her more supportive of me being child-free. I just don't get this. I'm currently pregnant and my friends who don't want kids are happy for me because they understand it's my choice. Why are people so judgy about a different choice in their life? It's not like you wanted them all to go get a vasectomy with you. Ugh. Why do people let themselves get all worked up over other people's decisions that don't affect them? I'm glad you just dropped what you wanted to say and let their heads explode. By the way, I'm not childless, but I like the sub. Please don't kick me out. Somebody, a bot probably, tattled on me and I got banned from a mommy group for posting this. Ugh. Some subs auto-ban you for participating in other subs. I had that happen a couple times. Sorry got banned for simply enjoying a wide range of content. Yeah, then my second comment got me permanently booted. Then she made some rude comment and blocked me before I could reply to it. Thanks guys for helping me clear out the subs I don't want to be a part of. I occasionally get ban notices from subs I've never heard of. It's so pathetic. LOL, no worries. Welcome to our sub. You gave them logic that they couldn't argue with, no matter how much they wanted to contradict you. That's freaking awesome. You deserve a medal. The best part is, they know how freaking scary it is to have kids, and instead of warning other people of it, they preach the myths so they can feel better about their own reckless decisions. Also, good on you for being honest with yourself and other people about being afraid of having kids. My father told my mom that he wanted a frick ton of kids, but ended up chickening out and running away when he found out he knocked her up. Since he was never in the picture, I got lucky enough to be an only child. And although my mom didn't regret having me, she never fed me the BS of the realities of parenting. Because of that, I am deathly afraid of being a parent. I'm in my early 20s, so hopefully I can get a vasectomy sooner than you to ease my mind. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe. Be a for lifer. Yeah.